Warning: this video contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewers' discretion is advised.
In the first 6 months of this year alone, Malaysian authorities have received 1,721 cases of sexual crimes against children.
Mengikut pecahan seperti berikut: kesalahan rogol 651 kes, sumbang mahram 106 kes, cabul 344 kes dan kesalahan di bawah Akta Kesalahan Seksual terhadap kanak-kanak 514 kes.
Perkahwinan kanak-kanak bawah umur menjadi topik hangat sejak kebelakangan ini.
A lot of unplanned pregnancy actually end up as adolescent and child brides.
Many Malaysian women don't even understand the anatomy of their bodies. They don't know where the baby is coming from.
They believe that kids don't have sex. They believe people don't have sex. But you don't know. That's the thing.
There's no room for manoeuvring when it comes to consent. There's no grey area. Yes means yes, and anything other than a clear, enthusiastic yes is no.
It was at the age of 15. It happened in Baju Hotel. I was forcefully persuaded into it. I'm very scared. Then at one point I remember I told him, I said I didn't want to continue, but he still forced himself on me.
There's already interest. The issue is navigating the interest so that they're aware of the choices that they're making. If you don't start teaching them, you can't assume that the fear of God in any religion is enough to deter. Clearly, it's not. Looking at the statistics.
Fikir pun nak pakai kondom ke apa ke, just tahu nak buat je.
The most powerful tool is education, and when the child gets married early, she is deprived of education. This is an infringement of her human rights.
It's important because these are our kids, our future, and we are supposed to protect them. This is a failure of the system. We have to address this, and this is serious.
Sex education is not the study of intercourse. It covers so much more than sex. It is the study of personal hygiene, puberty, decision making, relationships, boundary settings, and there are many other topics that it covers, and I believe that it is so important for every individual to know about it.
I understand that it teaches about the importance of sexual reproductive organs and on how to maintain your hygiene for your private parts.
In my understanding, sex education really isn't just about sexual intercourses. It's more of a body development. And to me, as you grow up, your body develops in phases. So you go stages and stages where if you have sex ed, you would know how to take care of it. And I would say, in my belief, it really shouldn't be a taboo.
No.
I say it's about 50-50.
I would say no.
If they were doing a good job at implementing this, there wouldn't be people dumping babies in the toilet bowls in schools, in the drains. Cases of teen pregnancies would not be happening, and not to mention the rate of STDs and STIs would reduce significantly if they were doing a good job at implementing sex education.
The government has implemented the basics of sex education in elementary school. So, yeah, it's a 50-50.
There will be no rising cases in public harassment. Public harassment, I would say, for example, is catcalling, and there are cases where men use their camera to put it under a woman's skirt in public transport like LRT just to see, for their sexual desire. So I feel like if sex ed were implemented, then these kind of things, I wouldn't say wouldn't happen, but it would still happen, but it would be lesser. So people are more aware, and people in the surrounding could at least do something about it.
Yes, I believe it should be taught at schools at a very young age, because there are girls who reach puberty at the age of 8 or 9, and not knowing anything about personal hygiene or how to apply a tampon or pad correctly could lead to so many other health complications that will affect them in the future, and therefore they should start young. They need to know about things like this, and the only way is by exposing them to topics like this from a young age.
Yeah, I think it's crucial for kids to know the importance of their private parts and also get them to be better knowledge about the particular subject.
Yes, young people are now having sexual intercourses without knowing the safe way to do it. So with sex education, you can, I wouldn't say prevent underage sex, but it will definitely lessen cases involving sex like teenage pregnancy, rape, and then I would say young people, they are very curious. So they will want to learn new things every single day. And to learn sex from porn videos, which is not the right way to learn about sex education. So I feel like they should be taught at a very young age, just to keep themselves safe in the future.
Firstly, the government, this is because it is their job to break the taboo. And once that is done, once they start implementing sex education in schools, it will be a domino process where the government allows it and somehow the parents will follow and the kids, it passes on. It is a domino process. So it starts from the government. If the government can implement this, the parents will have no choice but to be open about topics like this with their kids. They're not going to not answer their child's question if they come up to them and ask something. So I think it is the government's responsibility to break this taboo.
I think parents are really responsible in this matter because they're the ones that their children will refer to when they go through puberty.
I would say parents, because they're the one that is giving us knowledge since we were kids. We grew up with them. But I guess it is justified if they weren't exposed to sex education in their generation. So they aren't able to expose to us, this new generation. But however, it's still their responsibility to tell their children the do's and don'ts of things when it comes to sexual well-being. And then secondly would be the government. I would say this is because if the government implemented sex education as part of the school syllabus, then children would learn like sexual well-being at a very young age in school.
No.
I wouldn't say so.
No, they are not aware.
I do not think they know enough. And we all know that the youth these days are curious, and if they do not have access to proper information, they're going to be learning all the wrong things, and this could lead to them making mistakes that could affect them on the long run. And they are not well thought of on this topic, and therefore it affects their decision-making process that is bad for them. So no, I do not think that they are properly educated on sex education.
Because a lot of people my age still don't know how to maintain good hygiene for their private parts.
When it comes to sex, when they see sex, right, they vision intercourses, they vision porn. So porn, it's not real. Like, it's a fantasy. If they want to see porn as something they could refer as sex education, that is already wrong. And I would say I myself only got to know the gist of sex education when I was 19, which is very late. That is why I say school should have sex education as part of syllabus so that they know things about sexual well-being at a very young age.
A solid 10.
I'd say it's a 10.
A 10?
This is because everything is digital these days, and social media is an influential tool. There is no denying that. Since teens these days are always on their phone, their lives literally revolves around social media. And if we want to get this information to them, we have to do it in a way where it's convenient for them. So if they're on social media, we spread this information through social media. It helps them. That's the only way.
Nowadays, everybody has a phone, they have a tablet, and I think social media will bring an positive impact towards teenagers, and it will definitely better knowledge them about this subject.
When you think about social media, everything is there. Like, literally everything is on social media. You can name me one thing that is not on social media. I don't think you can ever. But personally, when I wake up, I don't watch news. I don't listen to radio, all these things. I just go on social media to get my knowledge. So when it comes to sex education, I feel like social media has the power to influence people to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, social media and youth, they're always glued to their phone. So if we use social media as a platform to spread awareness, then the message will reach the youth because they live on social media. Their lives are social media. So yes, I do think that social media is a great tool to spread awareness on sex education.
Like I said in my last point, everyone nowadays, it doesn't matter if you're kids, teenagers, or an adult, you have a phone. And I think if everybody started a chain reaction of spreading awareness regarding sex education, it will bring in positive impact towards teenagers.
I say this because young people, they gain much more knowledge on social media actually, and they are obsessed with social media, so they find new information on social media. So yes, I would say they do play such a vital role in creating awareness on sex education.
There are many features on social media that can be used to share this information. I don't think they're interested in reading long, boring PDF files of medical research written by doctors. So by using social media, we can create content such as infographics or reels using animated pictures and stuff like that to make the content interesting, and this will catch their attention and allow them to focus on what's written there, and it will help them understand better.
There are a lot of IG accounts, to my knowing, they're specially created to bring awareness about sex education and also discuss about safety sex and also sexual harassment.
I would say like Twitter threads are very informative and they are very fast. So when it gets spread very fast, everyone will know. So everyone will gain that information of sex education. And it's very short and concise. It's a summary basically, so everyone can understand. And secondly, I would say TikTok. So on TikTok, trends, they go very fast. So information that is on TikTok, and especially when it comes to videos, it's more entertaining, it's less disturbing to watch in a sense.
Yes, social media should be a part of spreading awareness on sex education because teens and phones, teens and social media is just like that. So like I said earlier, if we're going to help them understand these topics, we're going to have to do it in a way where it gets to them, it reaches them, and social media is the best way to do so.
I believe if it's done in the right way, then for sure. But if it's done like overwhelmingly, as in if it's too complicated to digest, then the teenagers would most likely be uninterested. So we have to make the info easy to digest, easy to read, easy for them to understand as a whole.
I would say it is good because first of all, social media is free for all, and newer generations, they spend so many hours on social media. I myself spend 5 to 6 hours in a day on social media. So when you spend that much of time on social media, you gain a lot of information for free. You don't see this new generation go to bookstores, buy new things just for them to read. So yeah, I would say it is a good platform to spread this awareness.
I think it could give them good knowledge and the skills to make healthy decisions when it comes to relationships and all the topics that are involved in sex education in general. But I also think that social media mainly helps them because this information is so easily accessible, and social media being social media, it's a two-way communication where they are allowed to have conversations about this. They're allowed to discuss topics on sex education with people, like-minded people who are also curious to learn about this. So yeah, it provides a good platform for things like this to happen, and that is why I think social media can help in spreading awareness on sexual education.
Teenagers and also adults can use social media as their source of information and insights regarding sex education, and they could probably use it as their private tutor regarding sex education also.
I would say when things like this are being spread, right, and it's like an awareness, you build a community, a comfortable community where you can speak about such things. it builds a comfort zone, it builds a comfort community. And yes, I would say it differed when you are speaking to older generation because to them it is taboo. But if we are right now to change this view on the youth, I think it is very beneficial. Like, it can help other people to be safe. It can be a much more well-accepting community. So yes, I think that is one of the benefits of using social media as to gain sex education awareness.